All right, so this is problem 5.5.15, and they're telling us here that every natural number can be expressed as a sum of Fibonacci numbers, where no number is used more than once. And then they give you an example here. For example, 25 is 21 plus 3 plus 1, and they want us to express the number 134 in this way. Okay, so first of all, we need to just take a look at what the Fibonacci numbers are. And so I'm just going to write them out. Remember, the Fibonacci sequence is a sequence that's generated by starting with two ones and then adding the previous numbers to get the next number. So if I add 1 and 1, I get 2, and then I add 2 and 1 and I get 3, and I add 3 and 2 and I get 5. And you just keep doing that and you can generate the sequence here. So I'm just going to take this up a little ways because we don't need to go too far. We're just trying to get the number 134. Okay, so we're basically picking from this group to try and do this. And oh, by the way, I didn't write this down. They started the problem by giving us this. So they're saying, you know, here we're going to give you some of the numbers that we want you to use, and then, you know, you're going to input what in addition you need in addition to these numbers to get up to 134. And we're choosing from this list. Now, what I found in this problem when I went through and I did it, it looks to me like the program is glitching a little bit because there's a couple of ways to do this problem that would give you a correct answer, and it's only accepting one of them, and I'm not exactly sure why because of the way that the directions are written. It's not limiting either of the correct answers, but I have a hunch as to what they're doing, so let's just write this out and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. So we're starting with these numbers. We have to use 1, 2, 3, and 5. So the way that I'm going to think about this is I'm actually just going to start with the 8, and I'm just going to start adding numbers up into, you know, this region until I get up to 134. So let's just take an 8 and a 13, 21, you know, 34 and 55, and let's just look at that. Okay, so these are the ones that we were given. And then this is what I'm considering. So let's just add them up and see where we're at. Okay, so the ones that we're given here are a total of 11. So, you know, if we take 134, if you're taking 134 and you subtract 11, you know, then you're looking at needing 123. I'm looking at my, let me look at my, yep. So we need this to come up to that amount, okay? So let's just add. So I've got 8 and 13 and 21, 34 and 55. And so this right here is giving me 131, what I have right here. So if I just take a look at this, 131 plus 11, you know, it's giving me 142. I'm a little bit high, right? I'm about 8 units high from where I need to be. Well, so if I were to take away the 8, then that would actually give me an equivalent sum up to 134. Now, as far as I read the directions, this is an acceptable answer. But they're actually not accepting this answer. What they're asking for here is they're asking for you to use, the answer that they're accepting in the problem is 13, 21, and then 89. And 89 is also a Fibonacci number. It's, you know, the next one up from 34 and 55. And I'm not really sure why they're accepting this answer and not this answer. I went and looked at a bunch of the other problems that they're doing, and I think they're wanting you to keep it to 3 numbers here because every other iteration of this problem, they had just 3 numbers here. They don't specify that in the directions, and this is unusual for MyMathLab. Usually they're pretty clear. But as far as I'm concerned on a test, this would be an acceptable answer the way that it's written because all of these are Fibonacci numbers and we're not using them more than once. And that's what it said in the directions. This is the answer that they end up accepting. And, you know, again, I think it's just because it's 3 numbers. I think they were actually looking for these to be done in 3 numbers in the box that you're trying to fill in here. And they just didn't specify that. So this would be the answer to this particular problem, 13, 21, and 89.